Hey bitches, welcome to episode 30 of Roll for Girl Dinner, where we let the dice answer the age-old question, what should we have for dinner? Today I'll be using these dice, obviously, and in celebration of Pride, I'll be donating all of my earnings from Roll for Girl Dinner to Point of Pride, which provides financial support for gender-affirming care. Now let's get started with a roll for protein. 1. Pork liver confit. Well, we haven't seen this in a while. Today we'll be doing the black pepper flavor. Even with the black pepper, this is a very mild flavor, and it's pate-like. Next up, let's roll for some cheese. 6. Boursin. Today I've got the shallot and chive variety, and I think this is kind of a repeat of an earlier episode we've had. These are both very mild and very mushy, so let's hope for some crunch. Now let's roll for some vegetables. That's a 2 for celery and a 5 for sugar snap peas. Well, I got some crunch. And some sugar snap peas, so at least there's that. Moving on to the roll for carrier. 6. Cucumber. I mean, I like cucumber, but this plate's looking too green. So let's hope for some color with the roll for Razzle Dazzle. That's an 8 for Mama Lil's asparagus and a 17 for Mama Lil's green beans. Tragically, I am down to the last of this asparagus, so we'll get a few of these on the plate and even grab the last little bit of garlic in there. On the other hand, we've got plenty of these green beans left. Now, the green beans and asparagus are going to make this plate a whole lot less bland, but it didn't make it any less green. I'm not really sure how this could possibly be saved by the sauce, but time to get saucy with a roll for sauce. 8. Scotch bonnet sauce. On the one hand, the real ting is my favorite. On the other hand, this won't go with anything. So let's wrap this up with a roll for sparkling water. 3. Beach plum. At least I'm going to have my favorite flavor of luck to wash this all down with. I'm going to need it. And since I can't think of anything else to procrastinate on actually trying this meal, let's go ahead and get all of our beverages poured. I mean, all one of them. And grab the leftover coffee and try and figure out where to start. We'll just start with the asparagus because I already know that's good. But how are the dice going to do me like this at the beginning of Pride Month? On Pride Month! And especially when I started this month sick. And my birthday month. So this meal not only feels queerphobic, but just rude to me. June 16th, in case anybody was wondering. I don't know. Maybe the dice were like, this girl was just sick. She needs some vitamins. Let's get her some vitamins. But it didn't have to do it with celery. That was rude. But let's see if I can put enough cheese on this so that I don't actually taste the celery. And then maybe I'll learn to like it that way. Because yeah, that's how it works. You learn to like things by not tasting them. And it worked on the first bite, but on the second one, the angry fiber water came through. So let's see if we can salvage some of this by putting together a nice little bite, hopefully a nice little bite. I'm going to take a piece of cucumber, some of the pork liver confit, a bit of cheese, and of course, some hot sauce, and we'll see if this works. Now, did I just put enough hot sauce on this that I won't taste anything else? Yep. So it kind of works. And I kind of won't taste a damn thing else for another good 5 minutes, so it's a great time to scarf down some celery. Hey, wait, if I put the hot sauce on the celery, will I not taste the celery? I guess there's only one way to find out. Oh yeah. Mistakes were made. Look, there's very few ways to make celery taste any better, but I can tell you one sure way to make it taste worse. There are very few things this hot sauce isn't amazing on, and I have found at least one of them. I believe this is what we can call a character building meal. About the only combination that really works well here is the cucumber, the pork liver confit, the cheese, and some of these pickled vegetables. And actually, even when I use a reasonable amount of hot sauce on it, that tastes good too. But good in a I'm not very picky kind of way. Not in a I'd choose to subject anybody else to this kind of way. Now, if I were Sister Edith Grendelberg, a frog folk nun who was raised in a very conservative convent in a city where magic was almost non-existent, thanks to the convent, of course, and who spent her life in service of a god who saw non-divine magic as inferior and unacceptable, judgy. This lady spent her life teaching children to lead boring, peaceful lives, doing good works with only their natural talents, and absolutely never relying on evil, corrupting magic. Well, as she got older, she became even more zealous, as the state of the world became a little more open and accepting of magic. Not her. She prayed to her god for guidance, and was tasked with becoming a cleric to root out the rampant rise of indecent magics. If I were her, I would give this meal a perfect 10. But I love the indecent magics, and I don't associate with her. So I, Kendra, give this meal a 3.
This is my meal. I call this girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl dinner.